Who is the best Nickelodeon boyfriend? I already made a video about who is the best Disney boyfriend. I decided to make a similar video about Nick boyfriends. We are going to find out who is the best arm candy of your favourite Nickelodeon leads. I noticed that Nickelodeon had far fewer boyfriends and there are far more one-off romantic interests. So they will be mentioned but they do not count if they don't meet the criteria for a Nickelodeon boyfriend. Let's find out who stole the hearts of the viewers, at least all the hearts of our favourite main character. Before we dive on in, we're going to go over what counts as a Nickelodeon boyfriend, because not every male on screen counts. Criteria 1, you have to be in more than 3 episodes throughout the series. AKA, I'm not going to include every boyfriend that Tori had for a singular episode. Number 2, they have to be dating the main lead of the show. This means the male lead dating side characters cannot be included, such as Josh from Drake and Josh dating Mindy Crenshaw. They might be an iconic duo, but they don't count. Another type of boyfriend that doesn't count are boyfriends dating side characters, such as Beck from Victorious. Even if he was on the list, he wouldn't be particularly high. Making this video was considerably harder because most of the Nickelodeon main leads did not have boyfriends. In the Amanda show, Amanda, the host, never had a boyfriend. But if we are counting the skit characters, the main characters of their own in-universe shows, then maybe some of them had boyfriends, but that seems really confusing, so we're not going to do that. In Victorious, one of the reasons we have the 3 episode rule is for characters such as Tori. They had 3 boyfriends: Daniel, Ryder Daniels, 2 different people, and finally Stephen Carson. All of them only appeared in a singular episode. Daniel dated Tori at her old school, they broke up, and he started dating Kat, then cheated on Kat with Tori and broke poor Kat's heart. Her next boyfriend, Ryder Daniels, only got with Tori to get an A in music class, but he is the reason that we got the iconic Begging on Your Knees song, so at least he contributed something to society. Finally, we have Stephen Carson, who dated Tori from Victorious and Carly from icarly at the same time, and he is the reason for the I Party with Victorious crossover. Still hate him, so they are the reasons that we have the criteria. Let's start talking about the actual potential candidate for the best Nickelodeon boyfriends. At number 7, we have Jake Bahari. Jake dated Addie Singer in Unfabulous. He was in every season of the show. There were 3 seasons of this show, and the only thing on his character wiki is Jake Bahari is Addie's secret crush. Honestly, that is embarrassing for him. And I can't blame the wiki people because the only thing I remember him doing is smiling. I mentioned Lucas and Beck only smiling in the last video I did about TV show boyfriends, but compared to Jake, those 2 are amateurs. At least those 2 had dialogue. He did nothing but be Addie's crush. The pretty privilege was strong with this one. At number 6 is James Garrett in Zoey 101. James was the boyfriend of Zoey in season 4. He was in 10 episodes to replace the fact that Chase had moved to England in the show due to a mix-up between him and Zoey. They portrayed his character as this really likable guy.
Calm down. Have some Dravicino. Good girl.
But I kind of feel bad for him because he stood out so badly because these guys had developed friendships over several years and they just tried to worm this guy in with little to no setup. He was always going to fail to grab my heart. That's why he is so low on this list. He wasn't as boring as Jake, so he's higher, but James was not doing well. The J names aren't doing well so far. Not only was he not liked by me, but he was not liked by the other boys in the show because he was seen as replacing Chase. I mean, he did take his living space and the girl he liked. So yeah, he did replace Chase. There's nothing subtle about it. At number 5, we have Griffin, no last name. Griffin dated Carly in season 2 of iCarly. He was in 3 episodes and only dated Carly in 2 of them and reappeared in season 3, but I was running out of boyfriends for this list, so I am counting it. Griffin is introduced when Spencer catches him taking his motorcycle for a joyride. Then he meets Carly. They go out with each other, much to Spencer's dismay. Then Carly discovers Griffin's obsession with Pee-wee babies, and it freaks her out so much that she dumps him because the toy collection ruins his bad boy imagery that she had of him in her head. I remember being so confused why the collection was such a problem. Everybody needs hobbies. There are worse things that she could have found in a teenage boy's room. Him really liking some fluffy toys was not the weirdest thing. He could have had human skin behind those glass walls. Better it be fake furry ones. Number 4 is Freddie. He is in every season of iCarly. He is shown to have a crush on Carly from the very first episode, but he is constantly rejected and makes weird passes at her, which I found creepy, but it was meant to be funny. It seems like she will never like him back as the seasons go on, until he gets hit by a truck while saving Carly's life. They date, but Freddie realizes she only likes him because he saved her from being hit by a truck, and she does not like him for him. So Freddie suggests that they break up with each other so Carly can sort out her feelings. Freddie is the final boyfriend of Carly on the best boyfriends list, but there are so many mini boyfriends that Carly had. So let's go through them from the iCarly Wikipedia. Ben Hubershire was Carly's first kiss, and he was named after one of the writers of the show, which I found weird, but okay. Then there's Freddie. They have Jake. Here we see Austin Butler again. After he was done at Pacific Coast Academy, he moved to iCarly apparently. iCarly land. Then they mention on the wiki Gibby she had a date with that I don't recall. Next we have Shane, who dated Carly for one episode and then fell down an elevator shaft and we never see him again, so I'm going to assume that he's dead. Then we have Neville Papperman, and it says next to his name, alternative reality boyfriend. Are we in the multiverse of madness? What do you mean by alternative reality? He was just a weirdo. Next we have Griffin, who we mentioned earlier. Then we have Adam, Carly's boyfriend in I Started a Fan War, whose only purpose was to be jealous at the panel. He didn't do anything else. Then we have Steve, who we mentioned before at the start of the video for being a two-timer who dated Carly and Tori at the same time. Then we have Kyle, who was smart. I'm running out of things to say about these people because again they were all only in one episode. Next we have Court, who was a temporary intern working at iCarly for one episode. Then we have this guy Lance. He didn't even make it to the date with Carly because she got her toe stuck in a faucet. Why is he on the list? I do not know. Then we have this guy Gary, who was played by the guy from Glee. That is the only notable thing about him, because again him and Carly didn't date, and the only notable thing about him is that he's from another show. Then we have Luke, Justin, Bo and Wes are all from the new show, the iCarly 2021, so I'm not going to talk about them. Also, little fact though, Griffin's back in the new show. At number 3 we have Chase from Zoey 101. Chase meets Zoe in season 1 and instantly falls in love with her. Everyone apart from Zoe knows he has a crush on her. Chase finally admits to his crush when he moves to England because he thought he was moving to England for Zoe, but Zoe didn't go to England. It was a whole debacle. We're not getting into it. He confessed to her over a video call and then they become a couple in the final episode of the show. Chase, from memory, has no other personality other than liking Zoe and working at a sushi restaurant. I don't remember him doing anything else. He did have an evil girlfriend. He was a good friend, but we don't really see much of him as a boyfriend to Zoe, so that's why he's number 3. We're almost at the end. Next we have Link Evilman. Very creative name. Link was the love interest of Phoebe in the Thundermans and is in season 2 and 3 of the show. Link is the son of Phoebe's dad's arch nemesis, but he is not evil, so good for him. Sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree and then rolls down a hill into Heroville. When I wrote this, I was like, it noted that I did not remember that they lived in a place called Hiddenville, so I just made this joke going, ha ha ha, Heroville, stupid name. And then I remembered that the actual place that they live is Hiddenville because they are superheroes hiding their identity. I should have been a writer of the show. Same level of creativity, apparently. They break up in season 3 for 2 reasons. 1, he was being really clingy and Phoebe didn't like it. 2, Link joins the Hero League and moves away. So they don't do long distance, so they break up. But they do stay good friends, and he comes back in the final episode of season 3. Now we are moving on to our actual winner, Jimmy from True Jackson. Jimmy is the nephew of True's boss, who works in the mailroom at the company she works at. In season 1, they can't date due to a company policy, but they change it in season 2, so they start dating. You might be asking, why is he the winner of this video? It's simply because at no point is he particularly creepy with a crush, he has a personality, and they are both still dating at the end of the show. He did not have much competition, if I'm being honest, so Jimmy wins just by being the bare minimum. Whilst making this video, I noticed the main difference between my best Disney boyfriend and this video is that the main characters do not have long-term boyfriends in this show. They have a little crushes, they have a lot of crushes. You thought, oh, me listing off Carly's one episode of boyfriends. No, I could have done that for more characters, but we would have been here all day. If we're comparing the Nickelodeon boyfriends to the Disney boyfriends, the Disney boyfriends clearly won. The Nickelodeon boyfriends are so boring and uninteresting that even the cheating boyfriends of Disney are more noteworthy. I could have replaced all the boyfriends on this list with a spoon and it would have been more interesting. And I wish nothing but happiness for True and Jimmy. They were a good couple, they genuinely liked each other. They had some ups and downs, so I hope they're in it for a long haul. I'm still waiting for the True Jackson reunion show. One day. And that is all for this video. Have an amazing day. I was going to say go look for your Nickelodeon boyfriend, but they're kind of subpar, so maybe don't look for a Nickelodeon boyfriend. And I can't really say go look for a Disney Channel boyfriend. Maybe just stay alone. That seems like the best option, because regardless of network, the boyfriends don't seem that great. And that is all for today. Leave a like. Goodbye. I think that's the longest one so far. Go me.